Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
Oh, good Lord, what is happening out there, Beebs? Happy New Year's, and I hope 2023 is much better than 2020, 2021, 2022, okay? Excuse me, you need a little bit of a chaser there. The year didn't start off too good for me. Of course, everybody knows my mother passed away. Shortly after that, my sister passed away. And then dogs started passing away, and it's like, oh, good Lord. Is this year going to get any better? Well, let's take a look at least on the investment side of things and see where things stand year to date. Do we do good? Do we do bad? Which assets perform better than others, shall we? Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPYSILVER. Yes, it has changed. PIMPYSILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos, because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. I will tell you this, ever since Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, my following has just grown. I was down around, I would say about 3,000 people who were checking out my profile. It is now above 7,000. So it's amazing what happens when there's no more shadow banning, there's no more censoring, and you're allowed to speak freely. Of course, I've been having some fun interactions with certain individuals on Twitter that is garnishing me a lot of people who are interested to hear what I have to say. So I do appreciate that. But let's get into this. 2022, how did we do with some of the investments that we've been talking about? Cryptocurrencies have been very interesting. So I've been listening to this lady right here. Her name is Whitney Webb. Every chance she has to do an interview, I don't care where it's at, I try to catch it one way or another. If you don't know who she is, I cannot stress this enough. You have to listen to this woman speak. This here is the show Redacted. When you do an interview with somebody, you usually go back and forth. You ask questions, the person answers it. This woman is so full of information. I think the guy gets off like 2 questions, and she spends the entire hour explaining stuff. She has been keeping track of all the interweavings of the World Economic Forum, all these corporations out there, their bad intentions, their fourth industrial revolution to try to go ahead and put us into robots. She's done the actual and literal investigating. She's probably right now, in my opinion, hands down the best investigative journalist out there. In addition to that, she's talking about SBF and how they really felt like the FTX crypto was used to move money nefariously around from one group of people to another, but also had the intentions of crashing this long ago. They were going to use FTX and all the criminality that goes along with it to use as an excuse to push us into the central bank digital currency. Now, when this story first came out, I thought that's what they were going to do, is use FTX to try to push us into the central bank digital currency on the very day that Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever the hell his name is, the day he got arrested. All of a sudden, our Federal Reserve announced that they had launched the central bank digital currency for a 12-day trial. You don't think that's a coincidence? It's not. They're forcing us into the area we don't want to go into, which is under this new world order. And if you listen to what she has to say, it's going a lot quicker than people had anticipated. Actually, I'm thinking about doing a reaction video. I'll try to do it tonight if possible, so you guys can hear what she has to say, because I think it's something that everybody should be aware of. So back to investments, okay? Sorry to get sidetracked. Look, it's been a crazy year for investments. For years, I've been preaching about gold and silver and my concerns about cryptocurrencies and also about a fake economy and a fake stock market that was out there, fake Wall Street altogether, and that they were propping up these stocks in order to try to carry the image that our economy was just fine. And we knew it wasn't. And people trying to tell us to run over to cryptocurrencies as a safe haven. Man, I expressed all my concerns. And at the end of 2021 and into 2022, every concern that I have played out in real time. Everything that I was concerned about. China being able to crash the market, and they did. The fact that, somebody like Elon Musk can make a tweet and cause the market to respond to it was bad. And it proved to be. And how these cryptocurrencies were backed by nothing. They're just digital fiat. And eventually they would crash, and that there was a crypto bubble out there. And that's exactly what happened. The fact that they could be hacked. We know that they've been hacked several times in 2022. All cryptocurrencies were used for was to transfer more of your wealth into the hands of the wealthy. It's a bigger plan out there, and you really have to look into it. So cryptocurrencies, I said, would crash. And when the dust settled, you might have a handful of them that would still be alive. I don't think they hit the bottom yet, but that's just my opinion. But let's see how they did for the year. We could see that Bitcoin closed out at $16,535, Ethereum at $1,194, XRP at a pathetic 33 cents, fitting considering they are part of the New World Order. Dogecoin's at 6 cents, almost 7. Cardano's at 24 cents. Polygon's at 75 cents. Litecoin's at $69.32. Polkadot's at $4.29. Shiba, 508. Solana at $9.76. So where did we stand with the markets? How did we do? Well, you can take a look at Dow Jones. We're going to go over the past year and see how they done. So if you look at Dow Jones right here, its high was 36,934, 36,934, minus where they are today. So they lost approximately 10% of their value. Although here you can see in the end of September, they really started to crash. And I don't trust this right here at all. With midterms and everything going on, they done their best to prop up this fake market. It's going to crash, you guys. We're still not done, and that's just my opinion. I know they're trying to tell us, hey, look, everybody, Biden's doing a great job. No, he's not. They're just lying. They just are lying to you. That's all they're doing. You're seeing a large transfer of wealth into companies like BlackRock. And now people in other countries are starting to pull out of BlackRock because they know they're behind some real nefarious things, including this World Economic Forum's movement. A lot of places over in Africa are pulling out. Africa don't want nothing to do with them. Sri Lanka don't want nothing to do with them. So there is countries out there that are now pulling out all their funds from BlackRock. Wake up, people. That's a good move. So we've seen Dow Jones has approximately a 10% loss for the year. NASDAQ had a pretty big hit. As a matter of fact, NASDAQ appeared to be linked to what was going on with cryptocurrencies. So they had a 33% loss in value over the past year, almost a 34%. If you round it up, it's 34% loss in their value. Not good at all if you're invested into, NASDAQ at all. If you look at the S&P 500, they had a 21, almost a 22% loss in value for the year. So yeah, not a good year for the stock market. But look at Bitcoin, man. Talk about a crash. Bitcoin, since the start of the year, lost 65.5% of its value. 65.5%. And everybody was jumping up and down talking about cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, or a safe haven. That's not what happens at safe havens. Look, when the markets crash, some of your assets are going to lose value. It's not uncommon for safe havens to lose 5-10%. But to lose 65.5% of your value is not a safe haven. Now, does that mean that Bitcoin cannot recoup? No, it doesn't mean that. It's possible. But I can't imagine anybody having any more confidence in Bitcoin considering everything they went through with cryptocurrencies. We're seeing one stablecoin after another crash. You had the thing with Terra Luna. You had the thing with FTX, and it looks like Tether is going to be the next one to fall. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but that is the word from all the nerds, all right? But 65.5% loss in value, all those battles back and forth. Bitcoin versus gold, gold versus Bitcoin. Who's the stronger one? Nah. Obviously, it ain't Bitcoin because in its first financial crisis, it has proven to be weak, not a safe haven. So much so that people like Michael Saylor, who owned a company, was booted as a CEO from his own company because of his failed investments into Bitcoin. So 65.5% loss in value over the year, not a safe haven in my opinion. Ethereum, 68.8% loss, even worse than Bitcoin. That's terrible. If you were in Ethereum, and still, even though it had that loss, if I had someone put a gun in my head and said, Pimpy, you have to choose one crypto to put $1 million in for the next 5 years, no matter what, it's always going to be Ethereum. That's the one cryptocurrency that I believe is legit. That one and Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, Bitcoin as well, but I do think cryptos are being used for something more nefarious. But if I had to choose a crypto, Ethereum is the one that I've always trusted the most. But 68.8% loss in value, yikes, you guys, that's terrible. That is $6.88 out of every $10 invested as a loss. Ethereum as a safe haven? No. Look at XRP's, lost 61.5% of its value. 61.5% of its value gone. XRP to the moon, even though they are one of the new world order coins, and Brad Garlinghouse is doing all he can to help the new world order's new SWIFT system. And remember how everybody's like, oh, they're all part of the quantum financial system. Yeah, man, XLM, XRP, Solana, no, these are all part of the World Economic Forum central bank digital currency, not the quantum financial system. Man, that's another lie that's been going on. Now, I heard that it's a legitimate system, but I have not been able to prove it. As much as I tried, I have not been able to prove it. And just because my friend said QFS system is out there, it's probably not the way it's being presented to you. It's probably something totally different. But anyways, looking at XRP with a 61.5% loss in value. That's terrible. Dogecoin, even with Elon Musk pumping that sucker over and over, it still lost 60.5% of its value. 60.5% of its value. Cryptos are not a safe haven. Shiba lost 76.5% of its value. Man, that's 76 cents out of every dollar gone. $7.64 out of every $10 gone in investment. Shiba had a terrible year. So Saitama switched over and redenominated its cryptocurrency. And even with the redenomination, since its change in July, has already lost 69.6% of its value just since the switch. Not a safe haven, but for me it was worth the risky. Well, you can see right here it's telling you 70% over the last year when I put the year chart on there. So, 70% of its value is terrible. But for me, it was worth the risk. I still hold Shiba just because it only cost me some discretionary funds. Literally like $50 to get a ton of these. And that's why I held on to them. Let's look at gold. You can see right here on the second, because that's the first day it registered, gold on the second, its high was 1830.10. Where's it at today? 1830.10. No loss, no gain, straight across for gold. Talk about a safe haven. You didn't lose any money. You didn't gain any money. But technically you did because the dollar is losing purchasing power. Although it's not going up paper-wise in value, it is going up compared to the loss in value of the U.S. dollar. But you can see we had some highs and we had some lows. But all in all, over the year, if you bought the gold at the beginning of the year and you paid $18.30.10, you closed out at $18.30.10 a year later. No loss, no gain, holding its value. You didn't lose 70%. You didn't lose 65.5%. You didn't lose 69.5% of the value. Unlike cryptocurrencies, gold maintained its value paper-wise, but gained purchasing power-wise. Silver, on the other hand, it started off the year at $23.81. That's how much it was a year ago. Closed out the year at 24.18. You had a 3% increase in your investment. So you tell me which ones are safe havens, which ones were a store of value, which ones held on to their value, gold and silver. Those two had ups and downs just like everybody else. But at the end of the year, we had a 3% gain, actually about 3.5% gain for silver, and gold maintained where it was a year ago. This is why I can't stress it enough. Gold and silver are always your safe haven. And if you have investments, you should consider moving 25-30% of your nest egg into precious metals. And that's why I always encourage everybody to go to Money Metals, because Money Metals has the most competitive prices out there when it comes to buying your gold and silver bullion along with other precious metals. So congrats to you who at the beginning of last year heard what I had to say. Move 25-30% or more of your nest egg into gold and silver. You either maintain level without any losses like the stock market, like cryptocurrencies, or if it was in silver, you got a slight gain. This next year is going to be really interesting, considering that people are starting to believe that the rate hikes are over for the Federal Reserve. In some cases, they might pull back, and that's great news for precious metals. We should start to see the dollar lose its value because all the little tools that they had to prop up this fake market has been used up. 2023 should be a great year for gold and silver, along with other precious metals. Do the right thing, protect yourself, protect your wealth, protect your family. Get something that's out of the system as they try to force us into this central bank digital currency. Invest in gold and silver. And when you do, go to Money Metals. And when you buy more than $100 worth of goodies and you are a first-time buyer, use promo code Pimpy Silver, PIMPYSILVER, and they will give you an additional ½ ounce of silver for free. Anyways, that's your review for 2022. Let's hope that 2023 is much better for us. That's it for now. I'm out, and Happy New Year's.